Have you ever felt like speaking up wouldn't make a difference? Like your opinion or your words don't matter? You're not alone. Even some of history's most famous figures and people in stories thousands of years old have felt the same way. But what they discovered might change how you see your own voice today. All throughout history, figures such as Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, they all led peaceful revolutions for a better future. Rosa Parks, she refused to give up her seat at the back of the bus, and in doing so, she sparked a change that Martin Luther King Jr. took forward. Gandhi, he led a nonviolent revolution for India's independence. And Jesus Christ showed that there was a better way for humanity to act, that we can love each other and pray for our enemies. Now I'd like to ask each one of you an important question. Can one person really make a difference? Can one person really change the world? And maybe for you, that's a father, that's a grandparent, that's a friend who has spoken into your life and showed you that you do matter. Maybe they shared their story with you and that story changed your life. That person for me is Pastor Ronnie. Pastor Ronnie has given me opportunities and scenarios that I never imagined I would have in my lifetime. He took a chance on me when I felt like nobody else really was willing to. Your story matters. Your story can change the lives of just one person. Even me, by starting this YouTube channel, it may not mean much. I may not gain a big following, but if I can reach just 100 people in my life, then I would say it's worth it, because what's the price of one soul? The price of one soul is eternal. The price of one soul is invaluable. And if we really want to win this world for Christ, we're going to have to learn how to utilize the technology that God has given us. These phones have amazing capabilities. They have technology that surpasses our wildest imagination. I'm filming here in 4K, and even just 10 years ago that was impossible. We're seeing things like The Chosen take off. One of my favorite movies was The Passion of the Christ. It showed that Christian filmmaking can be done in a very serious and profound way, and not a cheesy way that a lot of people kind of associate with Christian filmmaking. But we have opportunities and we have tools that God has given us that we can use. And if we do it at a high quality, then people will listen, I believe. Studies today suggest that Americans spend up to an average of 7 hours of screen time a day. Now think about how crazy that is, that we're spending up to 7 hours on some kind of screen, on our mobile devices, on our TVs, on our tablets. Studies also suggest that people would rather watch a movie or a TV show than read a book up to 4 times as much. But what if you say, Chad, I'm not a great speaker, I'm not a great communicator, I'm afraid of being on camera? Well, I felt the same way for much of the last 2 years. When I've been getting this missionary experience teaching in front of large crowds, it started off feeling like an out-of-body experience. You know, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm speaking in front of all these people. I never felt like I would be here or like I was good enough. But one person that we can relate to is Moses in the book of Exodus. God chose Moses to go out and to lead his people out of captivity. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people. There's estimates in the book of Leviticus and Numbers that when everybody was counted together, we're talking like 600,000 Israelites being led out of Egypt. And Moses was a person that was chosen to do this. And God spoke to Moses and said, I want to use you. And Moses' response was, Lord, I'm not eloquent enough. And God said, who made man's mouth? He said, go out and be obedient and use your voice. So it's not about talented or being a good speaker. It's about being obedient to what God is telling us to do. Matthew chapter 24 verse 14 says this gospel shall be preached as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. One of my favorite movies growing up when I was a kid was the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. And in the first movie, Uncle Ben says to Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. And each one of us living here in Europe or the UK or America, wherever we may be, we have great power. God has given us great responsibility to go out and to reach our friends and our family and the nations for Him. And the way that we can do that is by sharing our story and by using the language everybody's speaking today. Media. We have to get our minds off of ourselves and onto God. Now this was something that was really challenging for me to do, because at first I was so worried about what other people would think of me, what I sounded like, what I looked like on camera. All these insecurities came into play of like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to put myself out there, because it's much easier to be safe and to never show myself. But 1 John chapter 4 verse 18 says the following, there is no fear in love, but perfect love has cast out fear. Whoever fears has not been perfected in love. So if I'm fearing what my peers may say about me, I'm not being perfected in love. I'm operating out of a place of fear. And if we can get to that place where we desire God's will more than our own, because at the end of the day, fear is about self-preservation, right? We're scared to put ourselves out there and be embarrassed. But if I care more about people's souls, we're talking heaven and hell here. We're talking about eternity. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite of it. Your words matter. Someone somewhere is waiting to hear them, and your voice could be exactly what they need today. So please do consider subscribing and joining our family here at Mission Mindset. I'd love to get a chance to connect with you all and share any suggestions in the comments section about what you'd like to see going forward. God bless you all, and thank you for watching.